Hello sweet people, welcome to congratulations. You're going to be finding 3 IELTS tutor that I use like I Hello sweet people, welcome to the second part of this video. Yes, I got good feedback from the A of this video and I didn't know the first one was going to take a lot of time. You know, it's just the passion to want to do this. So if you haven't seen that first video, I'm going to leave a link up here so you can go ahead and watch the part A, because I promise you it's all filled with helpful tips that can help you ace your IELTS. Now, just to go right into the second part of this video, we're going to be covering the reading and the writing aspect. Now, I know that these two parts are the parts that give people the most headache. It gave me the most headache. I'm not even gonna lie, it did give me the most headache, but you can actually do it. Like I said in the part A of this video, that for my reading, the first time I saw an actual IELTS reading show was on the exam day, and I shouted Jesus. I'm not joking, I shouted Jesus because I was so scared. I was like, God, this is not what I was using to practice. Okay, this is not what I was using to practice at all. So what am I seeing here? But because I already familiarized myself more with tips and tricks for the exam, I was still able to come out with a 7 for my reading. Okay, so the first tip I will give for the reading is read the instructions very well. Please, I'm begging you, I am begging you in the name of whatever you believe in, read the instructions very well. Because I always tell people that, see, my IELTS was the grace of God. I really prayed. I'm not even gonna lie, I prayed, okay, and God really came through for me. Because the reading has, I think, 3 parts or so. I'd finished the second part, and then something just spoke to me. And sometimes, I don't know, some people have this thing that speaks to them. Something spoke to me and I was like, go back and look at the instruction for the first part. I do not, till today, when I'm telling people that story, it baffles me myself. Something just told me, go back and read the first instruction of part A for the reading. And I was like, why? I don't have time. I'm trying to like read up. I still have a lot. I still have part C. I've not even touched. I just said, okay, let me just go through. And guys, you will not realize that part A was telling me use true and false, and part B was telling me use yes and no. And I was using true and false for both parts. I was getting the answers, but I would have still failed woefully because the instruction was saying yes and no rather than true or false. So you see, yes, true and false, yes and no seems similar, but for the purpose of the exam, that is why they give you instructions. So please make sure before you even start getting tensed up to write anything for each of the parts, know what the instruction says, know what they're expecting of you by reading the instruction. And that thing I want to say again for the reading is, as for the reading, of course, there are different structures in which the questions might come up in. It could be true and false, yes and no. They always like putting things like that. It could be cross-matching, okay, it could be to label a part of a diagram. Yeah, it could be anything basically. So there are different, I think there are about 7 or 8 structures of the reading that you could have. So you can actually Google more on the different types so you can familiarize yourself with them, okay, so you can know what they're asking. But most importantly, read the instructions before you start. And like I said, there are different parts. I think there are 3 parts if I remember clearly. So what I did during my own time is, you have to know how to share your time very well. I know that people always come to say, oh, they didn't finish their reading. And yes, it's possible for you not to finish your reading, very possible, but it's also possible for you to finish your reading. I finished my reading despite the fact that I went back and had to clean where I was putting true and false instead of yes and no. So yes, I still managed to finish, even though at some point I was now really very fast, okay. But if you manage your time very well, you will be able to. So for part A, reading is 1 hour, like I said already. So for part A, it's advisable to use 15 minutes. It might not always work, but you have to know how to read through. So that's reading is usually like newspaper article, and if you know how newspaper article is, very complex, is voluminous and stuff, but you have to know what you're looking for. First thing, if you read the instruction, and secondly, you need to know the structure of a change in the quality of this video. That's because I've had problem with my camera and I've been trying to work on the memory space, but for some reasons it's not just working. Please bear with me. I just want to make sure I give you guys the best, and let's just continue from where we stopped. So I think we stopped from the writing section. So I was entering into the writing section, and for the writing section I'm going to try to be very fast. We've got 2 parts for the writing. We've got part A and part B, and they expect you to write nothing less than 150 words for part A and nothing less than 250 words for part B. Now part A is usually in form of a descriptive essay where they can give you like a diagram to depict You know, they can give you like a manufacturing test. For instance, it could be they'll put like the image of the raw product all the way through the manufacturing process to the finished product. So they expect you to tell them what is going on there, and you have to be able to understand. It could be in form of a map. They can give you a map and tell you to depict what is going on the map or whatever. So what I like to do is to section my time as well. So as I will always say, read the instructions first, and the next thing is to section your time. So because the second part takes more words from you, I would say use between 15 to 20 minutes for part A, and use between 25 to 30 minutes for part B, and then whatever time you have left, you can use it to just go through and count your words as if you're doing a paper based. For those that are doing computer based, it's easy to count your words because computer does that automatically for you. The computer helps you count your word. And I know people would want to start asking which is preferable, is it the paper based or the computer based? So let me just answer this question here and say that it's totally dependent on your person. So you need to know which one you're more comfortable with. For me, for instance, I am comfortable with either paper-based or computer-based because I type quite fast. Even though I'm not a pro, I type quite fast, and I also write very fast. So it just depends on you. Some people might not be computer literate, so don't get pressured into going for computer-based tests rather than paper-based. So just know what works for you. Either one is fine. It just depends on which one you are more comfortable with. So yes, that answers the question on that. Just for people that want to ask me. Part A, you want to just make sure you understand what the diagram is saying or whatever image you're seeing there and be able to interpret it, and you should not spend anything less than 15 to 20 minutes for this section. Now for part B, it comes in any kind of form. So it can be like an essay, it could be an argumentative essay, for instance, where they're asking you which is better than this, or so is this better than this. It could be asking you for the advantages over something, you know, advantages and disadvantages over a particular topic or whatever. So you need to be able to use like some minutes, 5-minute stops to pen down your points, and you can do this for part A and part B. That's why you need to make sure you share your time appropriately with what I have said. So 5 minutes to pen down your ideas before you start writing. Now for part B, you should know that you're supposed to write your essay using an introduction, then the body, and then the conclusion. If either one is missing from your essay, then you have started to fail already. You should make sure that you are very conscious of it. So when I'm looking at your essay, I should be able to tell the introduction from your body and from your conclusion. Okay, so you can go through YouTube materials to know and understand better what it means when I say introduction, body, and conclusion. It's just very, very straightforward, but I'm not going to go into that here. Okay, it's nothing complex. Just make sure you know, just make sure that you are stating out your intro and your body of the text, and then your conclusion for that part. It's very, very easy, very, very straightforward. So for writing, basically read the instructions, share your time appropriately, okay, and make sure if you're doing a paper based, make sure you go back to count your words, because if it's less than what they're asking you for, then that's also a problem. Make sure your writing is legible. It doesn't have to be like very, very structured or whatever, but just make sure that your writing is clear enough for someone to be able to read. Make sure you're using your punctuation marks where you're supposed to use your punctuation marks. Where you're supposed to put a comma, make sure you put your comma. Where you're supposed to put a full stop, make sure you put a full stop. Okay, and try and incorporate the use of paragraphs. Do not make your writing join together. It makes it very uncomfortable for someone to read. Even you don't want to read something that is, you know, joined together and stuff. So please make sure that you are using paragraphs where you are supposed to use paragraphs. And I think that covers it really. It's all about practice. So keep practicing, and make sure as you're practicing, you're not just practicing that way, you're timing yourself for each of the sections. Make sure that you are timing yourself. Now, having said this, if you have more questions, please make sure to ask me in the comment section, and if other people have answers, they can answer as well, because no one is an island of knowledge. I'm just trying to wrap this all up because I'm running out of space really, guys. So I'm going to be recommending 3 IELTS tutors that I used. I said earlier in this video, I did not pay for any online material. I just use YouTube videos, to be honest. I use YouTube videos. So I use IELTS Liz, IELTS J, and IELTS Advantage. That's, I think, Chris Pell. Those are the 3 people I used for my IELTS. So if you're trying to prepare for IELTS and you're not even using these 3, I know there are many other people, but these are the people that I use that works for me. So if you are currently preparing for IELTS and you've not even come across these 3 people, I don't know, okay, I don't know. They are really helpful. Their tips are very helpful. I literally watched them and learned their tips basically, and that's what helped me doing my own IELTS. That's all I use for my IELTS, trust me guys. I didn't use the Cambridge or whatever. I'm not saying they are not good, they are very good. If you have more time to practice, then I advise you use them alongside these YouTube videos, because they're the ones that will teach you these tips and tricks as well that I have mentioned. Guys, that one is an added tip, and if you stay till this point, good, because now you have learned something new. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will be dropping the pen here or my microphone here, which I have dropped already. But guys, if you have more questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section, because I know that I have stated some important things already, but I lost them and I'm literally saying everything from my head. So guys, always ask questions if you have more questions to ask. And if you've liked this video, do not forget to leave me a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't. Press the subscribe button now, please guys. It's free of charge, you don't have to pay anything. Just support me by pressing that subscribe button if you haven't. And guys, I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care, bye.